Hello everyone. Welcome back to another edition, of course, of the Misfits Racing League. It is the MRL, America's Tier 1 division, and we are here for the 13th round of racing action out of 15 here in the 5th season. We're here for Austria. It is the Austrian Grand Prix, and joining me for all of the racing, Seb, how are you doing this evening, or in your case, this morning, or are you into the afternoon already? I always forget.
We're into the afternoon now, Steve.
Well,
We're into
very
the
good.
afternoon.
Very good. So, well, how are things?
Oh, I'm good. I'm looking forward to this Austria race. Very exciting track. A lot of overtaking possible, a lot of battling, and DRS trains as usual. 3 DRS zones: main straight, second straight, and the third straight. So you can see a lot of overtakes, and that normally breeds for some good racing.
Definitely Austria. One of the favorites, I think, amongst the racers in the MRL, and I think most racers really enjoy Austria. It's a short, fun, flowing circuit, a lot of battling, a lot of wheel to wheel. Of course, this is our 13th round of contention in the season. Next week we go through already to our penultimate round in Mexico, and then following that it will be the finale in Brazil. What a season it's been, and well, we've still got some great racing to go, and that is going to really resume with what we have coming ahead tonight. And with that, let's take a look at the standings. Now, Becky B, 182 points there for Williams. TJ Spin second with 104 as Karma Lesson hunts him down for that second slot. Now, you'll notice Lucas Yan, unfortunately, having to pull out of the championship. Extremely unfortunate to see him go after such a stellar, epic battle, we have to say, with Mr. Becky B. Stepping down from the division, really unfortunate. But of course, it was a season to remember when you think about the races between Lucas Yan and Becky B. My mind goes to Japan, and then we had, of course, after Japan, it's been such a season. After Japan, we had Silverstone. Everyone had issues in that moment, and well, now here we are already in Austria. What a run it's been to this Austrian Grand Prix, and I cannot wait to see the racers battle here around the Red Bull Ring tonight. Seb.
Yeah, it's such an unfortunate way for the championship to nearly be decided. Good news from Gauzy that Becky B only needs 1 point to clinch the championship here. So you could only imagine if Lucas Yan were to have been here the past 3 races and able to race, we could have had a real fight all the way to Brazil. But nevertheless, we're in Austria right now. I believe we have 2 rounds after this to go. So very keen. I think we're about to get underway soon. Just waiting on 1 or 2 drivers, I believe, but looks like it could be a full grid tonight. So that's a very good sign. And as I said before, with the overtaking possibility, the overtaking chances available here, 20 drivers will make for a stellar race, and I hope we get a bit of weather as well to always add a little bit of chaos into the mix that tends to add an extra element to these types of races.
Absolutely. Saw weather dynamics really affect the race yesterday in the America's Tier 2 division. It could very well come through to pass here in this America's Tier 1 division. Austria, one of those circuits where you really get roll of the dice. I remember back Austria being the first race we ever did for our Oceanic division. I believe it was season 3. You might remember, Seb, as I think you were around that. It was
Yes,
a wet
that is
race
correct.
in Austria, and it was a very tough time. It might not have been an official race. I think it may have just been an exhibition or a practice race at that time. Man, oh man, did things get tricky in those conditions, because it went from dry inners to full wets, I think, by the end of the race. So if we saw something like that this evening, I would not necessarily be disappointed, to say the least. It's pretty much how it went yesterday, except the rain came very quick.
Yeah, they tend to get in the hills of Austria a bit of a changing weather, and you get that, and you get bad strategy calls, good strategy calls, surprises here and there. It tends to jump up the grid. You get cars in a position that leads to more fighting and potentially more chaos. that the rain does bring. So always a possibility. We should be getting started soon. It is 3 past starting time, so I think we're still waiting on 2 drivers. But yeah. So as I
Well,
was
we
saying
have
before, Becky B, 1 point on the championship, and I'd almost say that it's wrapped up.
going to be a very, very interesting race here with some reserves coming into the mix. Essentially, some very fast reserves, some making debuts, some coming from various divisions, as we have really kind of opened things up to allow for racers to push through and race. Yeah, now I think just about ready to go racing here. A little bit of a delay. Get ourselves an amazing race.
And, you know, don't forget about the combined constructors as well, Striff, because those reserves coming in certainly are. Yeah, I mean, Alfa Romeo leading at the moment, 22 points ahead of Red Bull. Mercedes, they look like they're not going to be in that fight any much longer. Williams have kind of dropped off his top 2 as well. McLaren making a decent jump in the past couple of weeks, getting themselves into 4th in that combined constructors tally, but they're a whole around 160 points off of Alfa Romeo. So it's really just between Alfa Romeo and Red Bull at the moment. But one good week from Mercedes or McLaren, maybe Williams could see them jump up massively. As we are loading into the session, and we should be going very, very soon.
Very excited for this race. Of course, 10 turns here around the Red Bull Ring. It is a very quick lap, an extremely quick lap.
It says 10 corners. It's more like 7.
Yeah.
Do you count turn 2? Do you count turn 5? Do you count turn 8?
but but again, it is a very quick lap, and with that said, you get multiple runs in around here, and I have a feeling we're going to see a very good shootout pole position, given we don't see any weather dynamics during qualifying. With that, we are now jumping in. Let's take a look at the weather, and it is sun shining here in the pit lane here in Spielberg, and that is going to be great news for the 19 drivers with us here on the grid so far.
If you look over the tyre graphic, you can see a lot of drivers switching to the mediums already. As Swift said, you get a lot of qualifying runs in here. Max, you'll get around 4 runs in with your 1 set of mediums and your 3 sets of softs available, as we have an AlphaTauri leaving the pits already. So our session looks like it's getting underway. That's Neon out of the pits. First off in this Tier 1 field to America's Tier 1 field to get underway for this.
It's a very fast field
race. Yeah.
Of course, 18
and Neon is no slouch.
Qualifying, and Neon coming through turn 3 right now in that AlphaTauri. Very fast racer here, making an appearance in the Tier 1 division. Of course, hailing from the Netherlands. And with that said, we have, of course, Maxim B in the Red Bull on the grid today. Edgar over for Mercedes, Fluffy Dave, and Sales over for McLaren. You mentioned the McLaren's having a solid time here through the last few rounds. DJ Spin on the grid in 5th on the timing tower so far, and while Neon gets going on a run, why don't you take us through the rest of the grid and flying lap?
Well, Neon opening up that DRS. Question from Mikael: what is the most challenging aspect of the Red Bull Ring? Well, turn 1. This inside curb, so hard to get right. You see that little snap on the steering wheel, battling that rear end of the car, so hard to nail. But don't forget about that double left-hander in the middle of the track. But here we have turn 3. Hard braking around 70-80 meters. Get the car in, avoid that sausage curb on the inside. The sausage curb, get that throttle down. DRS open on the run down to turn 4. car kind of falls away from you. A lot of understeer, but you got to just fight it, get that car over the inside curb, avoid washing it onto the outside curb for best traction possible, keep it to the far right as possible, and then swing through this long left-hander off camber. Car wants to understeer. Now you go through this turn 7, throw it into there. Just have all confidence in the car that'll hook up. Turn 8, easy as, no worries about that, but turn 9, you have to throw the car in. Really, really hope it's 6, and it has there for Neon. Turn 10, just be precise. He's gone a bit wide, that'll invalidate his lap time, but it's a good time nonetheless. Just, he didn't invalidate it, Striff.
Yeah, well, a lot of opportunities to get times on the board here. Not going to be happy the first one's been spoiled, but it is going to be Drake Dempsey, very fast, 3.836, coming in on the medium compound tire for his debut run in the MRL. Drake making the debut in a reserve capacity for the Aston Martin squad tonight, or as we say for the reserves, the Pirates. Stoltz now coming in at 104.137 on the softs. That is a scorching lap by Drake when you look at the comparison coming out of Stoltz on the soft compound tires, and even with Pablo Benitez and Fluffy Dave coming in with those 104s as well. Say hello to Drake Dempsey, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't forget Neon as well. He did that 103.7 on the medium tires. That wasn't validated. Gabriel tucks himself into P3 at 104.15. Cal P7. And then Siffy getting in the action as well in the Haas. And this time starting to come on the board with these first runs being completed.
X&B shooting for third now in the Red Bull. 104.060 on the rear of Siffy. Flying through in that Haas with that second position run. Cal. And now the other Ferrari of Microlander. Both Ferraris now getting their times into the board. Rhapsody 104.317. 11 drivers already out of the 19 with us this evening with times on the board. Nobody wasting any opportunities here to get runs in.
Tires do last, so you can see some guys go for multiple runs on their soft tires, like Sales, like Thultz, to soft medium in the race. So it's very easy to look after the tires as well. So there's going to be no doubt about what tires the drivers will be on when it comes to the crunch time, which will be in, I believe, 14 minutes now. No, 13.
Some eyes on Becky B right now. The Williams flying into turn 3 here. Purple sector 1 as he pushes out of the turn. A little bit of a snap, trying to find the exit, trying to find the traction. And now, of course, yellow flags being waved throughout the circuit. Coming into turn 4. A bit of an over.
It looked like he accidentally downshifted into third, so that would have cost him a fair amount of time.
Wasn't sure if it was he just revved it out or if he actually did drop a gear there.
Oh, still keeps it valid, Striff, but that's a lot of time on the board for the championship leader. Across the line, it's not a great time considering he is on those soft tires.
Top 3 setting their times on the mediums. Ooh. Big stop there in front of Becky B on his run. At the very least, his in lap, and there goes EJ spin. It looked like kind of like an abrupt stop. I don't know what the heck happened there.
Having a decent season, TJ Spin, hasn't he? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just watching the first sector and I've seen Pablo Benitez go around on his first soft run of the session. Yeah, TJ Spin second in the championship, 2 wins, 4 podiums, 104 points in that fight with Carmelesson, who yet to set a lap time, both of them in 15th and 16th at the moment, as Edgar decides he doesn't like his lap and validates, yeah. Obviously, because he wanted to.
Gonna go again.
Yeah, he's such a short track. He can go for multiple runs, especially if you have the fuel, which is very easy to put in too much fuel because the lowest amount of fuel, 5 kilos, you put in is around 3.4 laps, so you get plenty of fuel to do 2 runs, and then at least have some to do half a lap and get back. But it's nice to have Edgar here, but I do wish we had Lucas Yan so that we could have that dramatic finish to this championship.
Still some drivers hunting for points, looking to put in a full contest. And there goes Carmelesson, speaking of very capable drivers. Very nice run.
And it looks like Edgar's run out of fuel on his lap, so he'll have to abort. Wow, Carmelesson.
So
and that's come. Yeah, it's a short track, as we keep saying. So when you get we have 19 cars in the grid. Neon, a beautiful lap, a 3.672, slots him onto that provisional pole spot. But don't forget about Drake Dempsey or Siffy. Say hello to his little friend. 0.626, so half a tenth in front of Neon. Drake Dempsey right now. Oh, he's that's sort of good line. Kisses that grass, and I don't want to say goodbye to that fastest lap. Right now, Maxime B though. So he's at a solid season, wouldn't you, Sif? That's a solid lap right there. Jumping to P5, just in front of his teammate. Just behind Drake Dempsey, but his teammate's going to improve, but not by too much. So Red Bulls 5 and 6 occupying that third row. Angel, watch out!
Not good for Angel. Bit of a spill coming out of turn 1 there for the Mexican racer in the Red Bull this evening. And you can see now, front wing no longer situated on the front end of that car there, Seb.
It is gone. It has said goodbye. You've treated me poorly. Yeah. But we've got one more driver in. I did notice we had 18 and then 19 in session. I'm just trying to figure out who joined late. Rhapsody. A solid driver. He's been throughout the season, up a 10th in his lap, bit wide through 6 and 7.
I do believe
you're back out of
came in.
Yeah, that's who I think it was as well. And we got some guys on laps, some guys are not. Becky B, just saying.
Launching another run.
Starting his. Oh, he's invalidated already.
I'll probably
keep in mind he does
that one. That was
potentially
a little bit of a commentator's snipe. Fluffy Dave on the move as well.
Got to keep in mind he's a 104.1, but he's got a lot of time in his lap. I believe he's got around 4/10 minimum. As Stoltz has jumped up to P6, just behind Maxime B. Fortunately for the Alfa Romeo. A lot of guys will probably leave the pit soon for their third run and then have time to come back in, leave the pits with 2 minutes to go for their final run, which will be their fourth. Neon on our lap at the moment. Phelps. Carmelesson, I believe, might have just jumped up. No, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Do not worry about it. Michael Lander, that's correct. Been there or thereabouts. He's kind of in this championship fight with P2 at the moment, but he's around 40 points off. So he does have the pace at times, but sometimes does get a bit unfortunate. Things not going his way. Becky B just starting his third run after botching the first attempt. We'll see how he can go on the second attempt. Down his time. DRS open. The early flags in sector 2 doesn't look like too much of an issue though. That will go away as he misses the apex for turn 4 and into 5. Flowing through 6 inside curb. Car looks like it's bit under Siri for Becky at the moment. Doesn't look like he's pushing the limits entirely. But it should be a good lap nonetheless. Oh, you see it just fight a little bit off that inside curb. Careful not to invalidate. Over the line, it's a pole position.
8 milliseconds the separation between him
He
and
did.
Siffy.
He did not look like he was pushing at all. That must have been absolute stonking lap from the championship leader.
Very good run there.
Must have been on it. Nailed every traction and braking zone, although the lines and the steering input didn't look like it was on the limit. He most certainly was hooking that car up nicely. I should shut up because really I don't know what I'm talking about.
Big runoff wide and outside for Gabriel. However, holding valid and pushing through into 5th position. TJ Spin says hello to the front row. Now 6 milliseconds separating the pole sitter and the front row 2nd position holder.
Maxime B has just jumped up to P6 on medium tyres. So found improvement on those medium tyres. So good job by the Red Bull driver. He is 5 thousandths off of Drake Dempsey. Although Dempsey's time was set earlier on in the session. So we'll be seeing how that unfolds. But a lot of drivers will be in the pits or just starting to leave the pits now, start their final runs.
Really need to time it well. Fluffy Dave begins. Now he will be looking to improve on a 104.156 for his final run as we have 3.5 minutes remaining.
Damn, a little bit wide and on the sausage curb as well. That's going to kill traction. Almost if I were him, I'd come in and pit and just reset. Hopefully he has a new set of soft tyres available to him. So it looks like he may be sticking with it with how the ERS is being drained down. So these 2 corners to navigate. He has called it into the pits. So you'll have plenty of time to come in, refuel, get those tyres changed if he has a spare set. Go for that final run. It is officially crunch time. Cars are starting to come out the pits. A lot of cars still sitting there, and they're about to leave very soon. I can see a lot of activity in the Williams garage. And a lot of activity down the pit lane as well. But it's Pablo Benitez, who is just about... somehow not invalidated.
You got ahead of yourself there. That was very lucky.
He went just wide enough that the game didn't... Or the game is thought he would have lost time from that. I don't think he would have lost time for that when you're carrying that much speed through the final corner when you go that wide, but he is just scraped through that by the skin of his teeth. Sales now to cross the line. Goes wide at turn 1, and he's going just wide as well. But he has not invalidated, so you see that a lot with tracks now. Going slightly wide will invalidate you, but going wide enough and you'll just get saved microlander, a purple middle sector. We've seen his pace before. He's flowing nicely through turn 9. Bit slower through turn 10, just trying to be cautious, but the line, he has gone on pole.
Very nice run there from the Ferrari.
He's got time as well to do a cooldown lap and potentially do another lap. TJ Spencer started his lap, so is Siffy. I believe Siffy's about to end his lap. He's up a 10th and a bit. He's on the run for pole now.
Oh! There has been a huge collision here coming out of turn 9.
Oh my goodness. Final corner, and that's Drake Dempsey on an outlap. Lucky, lucky, lucky these guys are all now laps. I believe Tholtz is affected by this, maybe Jacob as well. Right on the middle of the racing line. That car needs to get cleared very quickly. Very quickly. And Edgar's retired on... That's... It has cleared finally, but... Man, oh man, that is an interesting little incident in the qualifying, end of qualifying session. TJ Spin invalidates Striff.
Very, very huge.
He's got a chance to go again. Oh, he would have had a 103.2 by the looks of it. Becky B improves but can't get pole. See if he's called off his qualifying. Neon has invalidated his time. He won't continue. Standard Drake Dempsey though. He's up 3/10 Striff.
Very solid lap there from Drake Dempsey. 103.449. Oh.
It's all down to TJ Spin, I believe. Becky B's out of fuel. His teammates put it on pole. And the P2 man in the championship chuck it on. He's gone very wide. He hasn't invalidated though. Crucially for him. DRS open to the line. What's it going to be? It's not good enough. Not even good enough for P2 on the grid. So what could have been on that first run. An easy pole for TJ Spin. He's going to have to settle for P3. And look at those gaps. It's half a second from P1 to P13.
It's nuts. It really is. 8/10 all the way down to 18th position.
Such a tight grid. Seconds separating everyone. We didn't even get to see Edgar set his lap time, so this is going to be a massive DRS train we're about to see, barring no incidents and no massive shuffling at the start of the race, but just waiting on one car to retire. That is TJ Spin, but Drake Dempsey on pole.
I'm going to take a look at these intervals right now. Laps. 103.449 coming out of Drake Dempsey for his debut qualifying in the league. You love to see it. Microlander now 103.549, precisely a tenth of a second on the rear of Drake. And it's the other Aston Martin, TJ Spin, who is just right there with Microlander. Karma Lesson, Becky B, Iffy, the whole grid really. So tight and bunched up around a seriously DRS dominant circuit, given the 3 straights with the DRS.
We're about to see it all kick off. TJ Spin just probably in the pits. Thank God. Pablo Benitez got back in the session in time. What is going through the time of his head, seeing these qualifying results? What is the best way to get through the rest train? Best way to get through the train is you need to get moves done at the start of the race, and then you need to go for a big undercut or get lucky with a safety car down the line. It is a dry race, so all those top 10, Angel, Pablo Benitez, Maxim B, Siffy, Becky B, Carmen Lesson, all have to start on those soft tyres. And, well, if you're outside the top 10, alternate strategy might be the way to go for you. TJ Spin has had to leave the session, so he should be able to get back in. But, oh my. We are set for something special here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pole position, ladies and gentlemen. On debut, Mr. Drake Dempsey. A 103.449. Microlander Ferrari, a 103.549, a 10th on the rear of the Aston Martin, with TJ Spin, the other Aston Martin, jumping into the top 3. Very solid runs out of everybody here in the qualifying. As you can see, the gap from pole position down to Sales in 18th is 8/10. Edgar, issue in the qualifying session, a retirement on circuit, and a major collision to boot. It has not been a good race for the Mercedes.
Rapsy down as well. I expect him to move up the grid as the race goes on. But yeah, this is a strong grid with a lot of strong reserves in here, so it's going to be tough for the Mercedes driver.
Alrighty, so everything looking pretty clear here. I don't recall if we got an official weather forecast for this one. I do think it might just very well be a clear campaign, but of course, jumping into formation now, we have ourselves a major lineup as mentioned, and we have a serious pole contender here in Drake Dempsey.
And Dempsey showing that pace, his teammate P3. Don't forget about Becky B, don't forget about Neon, don't forget about Siffy. All below. They have some pace, they can make some moves. We've seen Becky B's had some terrific starts. Monza comes to mind. Off the grid, Japan up until he had that incident on the run down to Spoon Curve. We've got a good grid here, especially up front, but all around where we can see a lot of fighting. Maxime B starting on those medium tyres. Absolute wild card. Edgar, only driver outside the top 10 to start on the softs. The rest on the mediums, as you can see on your screens. For Batista Matteo as well. Bon Matteo, he's starting out of position, so don't forget about him. Tell you what, Paulo Menez is really having some issues with his connection or whatever. Hopefully he gets sorted out for the race, because he's a good fight in this championship. Put a good fight up in the middle of the field. His driver's AIs are now taking over. Start this race. Drake Dempsey will get us underway from pole. Microland at P2. TJ Spin on that second row with Carmelescent next to him. That fight for P2 in the championship really heating up. Becky B, our championship leader, just needs a point to secure that championship from this race. Siffy in P6 on the same road. Neon, he's a bit more down than I think he'd want to be. And Maxime B on those medium tyres with a great quality in P8. Pubnators and Arnell, Maxime B's teammate, in that fifth row. We just wait on one driver. Pavlovnez again leaving the session, so don't think he'll be able to get back in. Drivers have to be cautious of him.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, 4-5 red lights here in Austria. The Red Bull Ring, Spielberg, we are away. Drake Dempsey with a good launch. Microlander looking at him, getting in front of TJ Spin right now. It's Becky B looking on the outside of the Alpine. The Williams with a very clean getaway around the outside. A little bit of a wheel bang there as Becky B gets fourth position off Carmeles. And here goes Neon looking at the outside, coming into turn 3. Does he get 2 here? He's looking for Becky B around the outside, the AlphaTauri, wheel to wheel. What an exit coming out of the Dutchman, and he does get an edge just in front of this Williams right now. You love to see it, but man, oh man, That was tight coming through turn 3.
Great move by Neon. You know what we say that about Striff. Put that to music, because he went for a full-on lunge and got the traction out of turn 3. Very smart move from Neon. Only one incident to note so far. Through turn 1, Arnhill went for a dive into turn 1 and I believe caught the inside of Feltz. Saw him spun down. That's why he's down the field. Edgar as well, I believe, might have been involved in that. But we still have pretty much a DRS train from P1 to P17. DRS activates in 3 laps and Drake Dempsey is our leader so far.
Very serious race already in our crosshairs as Neon hunts down TJ.
Yeah. This is the crucial part of the race. You have to get track position now. Of all times, he's getting squeezed to the outside.
Oh my, does he ever have been...
That is some...
man.
That's some smart... I'll tell you what, that is borderline, but that is smart from TJ Spin. He pushed him wide, but he also shadowed it like he was trying to give him space. So that is some very clever defending from TJ, from the Aston Martin driver. And crucially, it keeps Neon behind him going into the start of the DRS train that is about to begin. Oh, Becky B, a bit out of shape, the championship leader, under pressure from Carmelison now.
Yeah, the Alpine really wanting to push through, get that Williams. You can see the position changes for Carmelison have not been good here as he's dropped 2. TJ Spin a 106.654 in 3rd position on this grid. Fastest lap of the campaign. Edgar now says hello with a 106.419.
TJ Spin is spun, Striff.
That is not good.
Keep in mind, Carmelison's P5, so that's at the moment 10 free points for the Alpine driver for that P2 bout, and separated by 18 points. That's huge at the moment, but a lot of race to go, and you never know, a safety car could come out.
Cal on the rear of Gabriel right now. Tholtz in the mix. There's a serious fight in this midfield from the rear end of the points paying positions. And while Cal has just taken a 3-second time penalty already here on lap 3, the first of the penalties that we will see come through in this race. Cal in that Ferrari, really now the president of the club. Any viewers of the Tier 2 Americas series yesterday evening will know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the penalty club, as Neon collects the fastest lap, and it's just a cascade of drivers pushing through.
Edgar
changing hands of that fastest lap. Edgar fastest on
Edgar's
track.
Had a good start. He's up 4 spots, Striff. Sorry, 5 actually. So he did a really good start on those soft tires, and he's showing his pace at the moment, showing that he was misplaced at the start of this race.
Fails. Edgar, wheel to wheel, fighting it out on the exit of turn 3, pushing down into turn 4 now. It is going to be 12 and 13 for the Mercedes at the moment.
Michael Landa exchanged with Drake Dempsey sometime. I did not catch that at all. But the moment, it's just going to be a lot of switching of positions at the front. They're just going to be trying to pull each other along. I'm not sure, but
well, that is not what you want to be doing when you're leading a race at all, to say the least. And that is going to be a massive drop throughout this grid as Drake Dempsey now will recollect lead of the race. Neon, Becky B, 2nd and 3rd positions respectively, with Carmeles in 4, Siffy in 5th.
Look how close Neon is to the back of Drake Dempsey, but turn 3 is such a bottleneck of a corner. It can really tighten up things and then spread things out as the drivers get out of that traction zone of turn 3, heading down to turn 4. See DRS train from P1 all the way down to P15. Edgar in P12 at the moment. So another free position from Michael Landa's spin out of the final corner for the Mercedes, and he's on the back of his teammate at the moment. So we'll see it Rhapsody, who all season long has played the team game. We'll see if he do it again in the next straight or so.
Well, team game, sure, but necessarily Edgar Well, soft compound tires right now, how long are they going to give him an edge over his teammate?
Oh, turn one, Striff. It's so hard to push to that corner, and Neon's opening up the door to Becky B now.
Ooh, Neon just taking a gradual look at Drake Dempsey there. He can't do too much. He can't take a risk and have it not pay off because, as you mentioned, Becky B just sitting in his rearview mirror, fronts to rears nearly as we came into turn 3. Such a train here for the race lead.
And you can see right there, Siffy over the back. Maxime B's kind of in and out of that DRS range, and he's doing a bit of pushing through these next couple of corners to get back in. It looks like he will be. Had a good turn 6, decent turn 7. He'll have DRS crucially, as long as he doesn't muck up turn 9. You see a bit of exchanging, as that looks like Cal is off. Cal is off. Edgar now into P10. Edgar having a strong race so far in that Mercedes. But ideally, if you just look at the ERS of the top 3, none of them, sorry, the top 5 really, barring Cumless, and all of them above 70% down this straight. So really biding their time, these drivers. They understand that it's a long race. 36 laps, you're doing this 10 corner circuit. It's a long time and a lot of repetition. Neon going for that move now for the lead.
Coming through turn 4. Very hot overtaking zone using that DRS coming out of the turn 3 section. They come through the double left-hander.
Maxime B now off of the DRS range of the top 5, crucially. Opens him up to attacks from Tholtz and Gabriel behind, and even Bomateo.
Neon with a snap off to the inside right now to defend against the DRS right now. Drake Dempsey showing so much pace. Here goes Becky. Ooh, a little bit of a squeeze there coming out of the AlphaTauri. Becky B not going to like that too much. And right now it's going to be a DRS drag race between the pair to capture Drake. A little bit of a weave coming out of Becky, maybe trying to get a signal off to Neon saying he does not like that.
Oh, I wouldn't either. That was a bit touch and go from the AlphaTauri driver. His teammate Gabriel is going by Maxime B, as Maxime B is struggling so far in the past couple of laps or so. You can see that. But Neon really needs to be careful. I think through turn 1, that's a hot spot for incidents, and Neon in the past 2 laps has kind of struggled out of the exit of turn 1.
We have a yellow flag now. That's one of the Ferraris. That is going to be Cal, and it does not appear the front left is damaged. However, trip to the pit lane is in order for the Ferrari, it would appear. Maxime B under threat right now from Battista Matteo. You mentioned Maxime B dropping positions. Well, he's just about to get into a position where he will lose another one. And with that said, the train on the rear of Drake really is extended all the way to Siffy. Tholtz right now has a bit of a mountain to climb to try and bring that gap down.
Doing a decent job at the moment, just to claw back a little bit of time. See it coming down slowly. It's a good sign those soft tyres are starting to go, but they still, in terms of wear, can go quite a while. You see Edgar dropping positions. He's had a mistake through turn 6. I wouldn't honestly think that's a mistake. I think he might have come into the contact with Rhapsody, maybe hitting the back of him. That's why we see him spun around at turn 6 and down the field. Cumless in the first to come into the pits. I hope he's not coming into the hards here. It is not the way to go.
Be a very bold call. Oh, and he's done it. He's done it, Seb. He's gone on to the hards. Here goes Gabriel. Hunting down Tholtzman. Coming into turn 3. A push into the inside. It's wheel to wheel nearly. And it's going to be a later push on the brakes for Mr. Tholtz to hold it. Very nicely done.
Great
there.
defending. He held it well, but Gabriel's going to come back at him. That DRS is quite strong. Looking down the inside, having a lunge. Bit of racing in between the. Oh, Tholtz just turned in on him there. But Gabriel held his line. And they go side by side through turn 6 on the run. Sorry, turn 5 on the run to turn 6. Gabriel will have that P5 slot for the short term.
Very solid battle between these two.
Yeah, you see Gabriel pulling away. Tholtz might have a little bit of an issue. Calmless, and I'm very surprised by that. You want to go on those medium tires to Smirkalander. Not having a great race so far to start off, but a safety car may help him down the line.
Drake and Neon right now. Drake really having a good first turn in comparison to Neon. He's dropping just a touch through there, making it a difficult run into turn 3, and he can't make that move without just a clear-cut assurance that it will stick without Becky B coming in to haunt him. Right now he's looking for her to coming into turn 4 right now. Where's Becky B? He's got the front row seats. Neon on the inside. Drake looking for a switchback. Neon getting that car placed just right. Not enough power for Drake to get a toe in, make an opportunity stick, but we have ourselves a serious fight between 3 very fast drivers, and well, realistically 4 very fast drivers when you have Siffy in the train as well, just a little bit further back.
All of them just casually at 100% ERS. A lot of saving going on. And they're just pulling each other along with a bit of DRS. Looks like Neon tried to pull away a bit. Drake Dempsey looks like he's got the pace just to get overtaken, then re-overtake right back. So it looks like if Drake Dempsey is the whole P1 for most of this races, Becky B looks like he's getting on the action as Drake Dempsey goes down the inside of Neon
Becky B.
into turn 3. Becky
Holy.
B.
He almost had a way through.
It's not over yet.
Oh, this is about to go 3 abreast coming into turn 4 here. Who's going to get the best line through? It's going to be Drake Dempsey, very late on the brakes. Becky on the far inside, a little bit squirrely. There's contact. Drake's gone off into the wall. Neon will push through and get himself back on circuit in 3rd position as Siffy makes his way through. Gabriel is now in 4th position. It's 3-4 for the Toweries. 5th now for Tholtz. This train's almost connected down to 9th position.
No. Becky B looks like he's coming into the pits. He's called it. I think he'll go into the mediums, but my oh my, I was on board with Neon that whole time. And well, let's just say he kind of turned into Drake there. I think 3Y doesn't work into one corner, but Neon was behind into the corner, or sorry, on the exit, so I thought he should have backed out. He kind of angled back into him. It's a tough one. There'll definitely be an inquiry into that one, though.
Siffy leading the race now on the 12-lap old softs, a 1.5 second near gap to Gabriel, and in 2nd position on the 12-lap old mediums, Tholtz, and the rest of the train in tow. You have Maxim B, Bautista, Rhapsody in that train all the way to 2nd position.
Keep in mind, these medium runs were sticking fairly close to those front guys on the softs. So it is very hard to overtake when you're in a DRS train, but if you have about half a second on the guy in front, it does make your job slightly easier, and you kind of have that when you switch onto the softs, fresh softs versus old mediums as the race goes on. But you never know, Siffy into the pits, so is CJ Spin.
Becky B, of course, 11th position for him right now, and he's hunting down Carmelesson for that 10th slot, while Drake and Neon, they're going to have to push through the field. We'll have to see if they come together and battle at any opportunity. But, of course, if they do battle while they're having to push through the field, it's not going to be good for the overall picture to try and catch up with Mr. Becky B.
Yeah, 100%. They are well off at the moment. Until such a fast lap, I feel like they'll be beaten by Becky B right now. Neon and Drake Dempsey need to work with each other to pull each other up the field and not fight too much. They are well off the leaders, but potentially still on for at least a podium spot. But how those guys on the mediums at the front are running, we're yet to start. I doubt that will happen.
Gotta be tough to try and work with a guy who you just came into contact with through turn 4 when you're wanting to push through a field and maybe try and navigate some traffic unimpeded, you know, without that threat of a position or an overtake. Maybe push through, wait until the traffic's cleared, then get into the action when there's less risk. Drop back and lose position.
You see, those guys at the front are working really well together. They're not fighting too much. They're just dragging each other along. Gabriel is that locomotive at the front, that horse pulling the carriage. He's doing so very well. Calmless, and you see dropping off the back of Becky B on that timing tower, but DRS, if you just hold on to it, he might come into play later on the race. I just don't think those hard tyres have any pace in them, though. He will need a safety car if he wants a podium spot. Arnhell left the session. He's crashed. No, he's retired in the pit, sorry.
Fortunate to see the early retirement coming out of him. We're nearly at that halfway point here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Gabriel, Doltz, Maxim, your top 3 at present here as we are on lap 16 of contention.
See, Tholt's very close to Gabriel. Becky Beast is going to exchange positions right now with Sales, but Tholt's playing the long game. You understand he doesn't need to try and overtake Gabriel. He doesn't need to fight him. They just need to pull each other along, not lose time. Because they understand that those soft tyres will come into their own. Drake Dempsey and Neon are fighting or switching places at the moment. Through turn 3 and on left turn 4.
Neon. It was an overtake, and I think Neon might have gone a little deep through turn 3. Comes back on the rear of Drake. Solid race here so far. A spin now. 3-second time penalty for him. That is not good, as we have multiple penalties come through. Club got real big. Quick. DJ spin, well, does set another fastest lap of the campaign, a 105.499. Fluffy Dave in a serious fight now. Well, I shouldn't say serious fight. He's been overtaken by Drake and Neon.
Seeing Neon just doing whatever he can to keep close to Drake Dempsey, but not necessarily overtake him. Could have had the move into turn 3, but decided better. But Siffy, a 3-second time penalty, that will 100% come into effect down the line. He's chasing down Carmelison though, who's chasing down Sales. I expect those medium runners to pit soon because those soft tyres can go a long time. Undercut is massive here, especially at this stage of the race.
Rhapsody on the inside right now of Bautista Mateo. Very solid move there for the Mercedes racer. 4th position is his. Neon ahead of Drake now. For 11th position in this race as Siffy and Sales have their drag race into turn 4. Siffy a little bit later on the brakes. And he can definitely afford to do so as Sales has a big snap out coming out of the turn.
Yeah, easy move from Siffy. He's got Karma though. And he has to navigate. I say navigate because Karma has had 0 pace on those hards. Is to be expected. They are by far the inferior tyre of the 3 here.
Sales now 9 seconds joining Microlander. Diffie into 8th position ahead of Carmelesson through turn 3.
A lot of guys with 3 seconds, 2 guys with 9. That's Sales and Microlander. Yeah, Becky B does have a 3-second time penalty. I think we've missed that. I think we've missed Becky B getting a penalty somewhere, so that's a crucial part of this race. But crucially for him, he's only 8 seconds off the leaders that are just going through turn 1 now as Rapsy has pit. So Rapsy into the pits, caught it early. We'll go to the end easily on those softs. No worries about that for the Mercedes driver.
Ooh, big late move there from Gabriel. Tholtz, a little bit of a dogfight coming into turn 3. Gabriel gets it done. Tholtz, no opportunity yet here to get the move back, as neither driver has DRS, which could expose the Alfa Romeo to Maxim B, and it very well nearly did.
Maxim B is a dark horse in this race. I think Mikhail in chat was saying it all along. He's just there. He's not had the fastest of pace, but he's not out of it just yet. He's doing what Becky B was doing on the back of Drake and Neon, but Gabriel's coming to the pits. Oh, he might have extended. That could be a penalty if reported for Gabriel. Maxime B is continuing.
Very critical moment. Absolutely. For Maxim and Jacob.
Well, it doesn't look like we'll have a safety car, but watch there be one after I say that. It just looks like the drivers have found their rhythm, and they're making moves. They're not doing anything too drastic. Rapsy all in the back of Gabriel, who Rapsy was able to jump Tholtz, but not able to get Gabriel, so I believe he was held up by Fluffy Dave and Microlander. It was the Mercedes driver. Cal picks up time penalty. Pablo Benitez on the hard tires. It's the fastest lap. That makes no sense.
That's quite the lap. 104.792.
Jacob's pit, so there he comes out in relation to these guys he were fighting. He's going to come out way behind. Is the Alfa Romeo driver. So. Overcut's not going to pay off for him. He's got some work to do. But Mateo's just gone by Fluffy Dave on the run down to turn 2 and 3. Neon all over the back of Drake Dempsey. Their battle continues on for the 22nd lap. Been going at it the whole race, these two.
Pablo Benitez showing that he just joined, so he may very well have been under control there. And we have Microlander now picking up a 3-second time penalty as Maxim finally jumps into the pit lane.
Interesting. Becky B, Siffy, Carmeless, and all with time penalties. But Drake Dempsey, who is within striking range of Carmeless and Siffy, as Drake Dempsey picks up a time penalty. My oh my, so Neon's on for that final spot on the podium at the moment in time. At this moment in time, Sales with the fastest lap on fresh softs. But don't forget about those guys behind him: TJ Spin, Gabriel, Rapsy, Tholtz, fresh soft tires.
Fluffy Dave on the rear of Jacob right now. Best exit for him as he's still on his starting tires. He's the only driver remaining on his starting tires.
Jacob trying to get by Maxime B. Maxime B having none of it with that outside line. Holding his ground in the Red Bull. And crucial that, like the guys at the front were doing earlier in the race, they try and pull each other along so they can catch up to Bomateo, Marcolanda, Tholtz, Rhapsody, Gabriel, and be in the running for some pretty good point scoring positions. Oh! A love tap from Karma. Yeah, it was a love tap from Karma, so he's doing the right thing. He's backing up, but it's opened up the door to Neon. Having looked down the inside of Drake Dempsey, and Karma's just sticking to the inside of Neon. Neon will get P4 from the Alpine.
Wow. That was wild.
Brave. It was a brave move to go for that, as Michael Landers off once again, this time at turn 4 and 5. So Ferrari spinning for the second time this race. I'll see him drop well and truly outside the points.
Top 24, soon to be 25, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep in mind, a late safety car really hurts likes of Becky B and Siffy. Especially Siffy. But Jake Dempsey and Neon at the moment. Gonna fight it out once again. Look how close Neon is getting with that DRS. But keep in mind, Neon is on for P2 at the moment. He's within 3 seconds of Siffy. Around 2.5 away is the AlphaTauri. That run he's got, not using any ERS though. But Drake Dempsey has used up a lot of his battery reserve. Having to catch up as Michael Landers retired in the pits. Respectfully, hasn't been a great night for the Ferrari driver. He'll call it a day.
Neon and Karma lesson right now in a little bit of an Aston Martin sandwich. In the rear wing of Drake and the front wing of TJ. Neon trying to make a change and potentially hunt down this Aston Martin. Bolts in the rear, Rhapsody as well. Quite a few little battles unfolding.
Yeah, quite a bit as TJ. I was just about to comment on how he's done a good job to get onto the back of Karma Lesson, but he's had a massive snap at turn 1. Here comes Neon though, Striff. Easy does it, but he won't have DRS, unlike Drake Dempsey.
Yeah, this could be critical for Drake to get a move back on Neon. Good exit for Neon through there.
Drake could almost, hopefully, just stay behind Neon, gain back some ERS thinking, go for a last lap or second last lap maneuver on the AlphaTauri. That could almost be the play here, as Rhapsody gets by Gabriel on the run down to turn 6. So don't forget about those soft runners. Very much still points away from these guys with penalties.
Gabriel really hunting down Rhapsody right now. Bolt's there as well. Here we go. Ooh, he looked for the inside. Thought better of it.
Neon is getting quite close to Siffy here. I think he's going to be within DRS range next lap. Here comes Saltzo. Around the outside goes the up from hours. Gabriel picks up a time penalty on the inside, surprisingly. We have yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. That's Jacob around in the Alfa Romeo. But crucially for the Alfa Romeo, not a lot of point scoring going on for the Red Bull team for this combined constructors. Looks like they'll extend their lead by 4 points at this stage. But don't forget about that time penalty for Bautista Mateo and Gabriel. Battles for P7, battles for P2. Several spot fires all around the place.
Been a very long but intense race. We haven't had any major dramas, knock wood. Well, unless you include the Neon Drake collision, but both drivers are still fighting, evidently, right in front of us, 3 and 4.
Crucially, Becky B, he's got a 1.1 second buffer to Siffy, so about a 4.3 second buffer to Neon. If Neon does get past, Becky B does have about a second to play with to make sure Neon's not in that DRS range, but here they go. And Drake Dempsey getting in the action as well. So Neon gets by into turn 4. That opens up the door for Drake Dempsey around the outside of turn 6. A brave move for the Aston Martin. He'll get that move done. Some smart racing from him.
Siffy not going to be too happy about that, though.
No, it was trying to give him the corner to Neon, and Drake Dempsey just read that play so well and snuck his nose in there, and that saw him climb up into P3. But to be fair with you, I don't think Siffy really has the pace to fight these guys. He has the pace to stick with them, but I just don't think he has the pace to fight them. Gabriel apparently struggling with fuel. 7 laps remaining, and Gabriel's got a yellow fuel light, so he might need to start doing a bit of lifting and coaching at the moment.
Here goes Drake looking at Neon, pushing to the inside, gets back on the rear as we come through turn 4. Don't want to be doing that too many times with Siffy that tight.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for the move, because he looked like he would have been equally side by side on the inside with Neon. So I feel like Neon could have given him the corner, especially considering Neon doesn't have a time penalty to his name. So Neon kind of with some things to gain and everything to lose, and Drake Dempsey kind of with nothing to lose and everything to gain by getting in front of Neon. Especially if he can put Neon under pressure. Try and get Neon a warning. Get him that 3-second time penalty so they can be on level playing fields. That'd be so crucial for Drake Dempsey. I believe Neon has 2 warnings to his name, 2 track extending / cutting warnings to his name. So crucial now that Drake Dempsey puts pressure on the AlphaTauri driver.
Becky B and Drake will certainly be friends after this if Drake continues to apply that pressure and shake up this fight for that second position, penalty or no penalty, and even better yet, if he gives Neon enough pressure to collect a penalty of his own. Gabriel Tholtz right now 8 and 9 in action right now. 8 for Tholtz on the inside. Very nice move to hold things on.
Gabriel's just been fading here. Not doing too much. Maxime B's behind, 2 lap fresher, soft tyres. Slowly gaining on them. But don't forget about Bomateo. Still there,
Drake,
but he has dropped to Maxime B.
To the inside.
Drake,
Ooh, he gets Neon deep in a big snap on the exit. Neon with the DRS to try and fight back. It's now 4.2 the gap to Becky B. This is very good for Becky B right now, what we're witnessing.
Helps that Neon has like 12% battery to his name.
Well, not any longer. He's getting a little bit back, but he's at a disadvantage to Drake right now, to say the least.
Yeah, 100%. Rhapsody's slowly gaining on, Carmelis up ahead. He's got Tholtz and Gabriel to worry about behind. Could you just imagine if Carmelis didn't pit so early and go into the hards? He could be well within this top P1 fight, or maybe the battle for P2.
Siffy going wide, coming out of turn 1 right now, exposed to TJ Spin. Siffy trying to hold things. TJ Spin looking for the inside. He's going to send it right now. This is very... Oh, that was scary. He almost went into Neon there. There's still wheel-to-wheel as Neon and Drake not having an exchange this time around. However, Siffy and TJ still wheel-to-wheel. TJ on the inside now of 4. Looks like he's going to get this done.
Yeah, important move for TJ. I think he wants podium spot here. Teammate ahead and Neon without a penalty. We'll see if Neon does pick up that final warning, which I believe he has available to him. Well, Neon's a smart driver. I don't think he'll get away. That is Siffy. Bit of a snap through turn 9. Be careful he doesn't do that too much. He has to stay within DRS range if he wants a chance at maybe taking some last lap spoils due to instance or whatnot.
Been a solid race tonight, it really has. Look at this, lap 34 of 36. Becky B just shy of 4 seconds ahead of Drake. Both drivers with 3-second time penalties, and it's Neon who's really hunting down that second position right now. And potentially a gap for a race win without a penalty. There is not a lot of time. A big snap will not help him.
Gotta be so careful. This is crunch time. Tires are gone, starting to go. Less fuel, cars are faster. Less grip, tires are more worn, obviously. It's like there'll be 2 more laps left to the checkered flag.
35 of 36, the penultimate run here. Neon, TJ Spin. Close proximity, of course, to Drake and Siffy just out in the rear view. This is a critical exit for Neon right now. DRS and utilization needs to tighten things up to the Aston Martin as Stoltz and Rhapsody have their exchange. Gabriel Bautista, major fight for final points. Gabriel on the inside of Stoltz. There's a touch of contact. He gets things corrected back around. Bautista, Mateo. Oh, I don't know what to say.
I did not get a good look at that.
I'm not going to say a word. That
You're not going to say a word.
Stewards all day.
See it. Looked like it was similar to Drake and Neon, but I'm not going to go any further than that because I just not had a great off-board view of it. I really didn't.
We're in the final run. The final run of the race. 36 out of 36, ladies and gentlemen. Becky B leading things 3.5 right now ahead of these two. Drake Dempsey and Neon fighting for second position. They are continuing this bout. All cards on the table between these two right now. Penalty or no penalty for Drake Dempsey. He is not pissing around.
All down to this. Looks like
Gonna be
Jake
very
Dempsey will get
critical.
P2, but Neon just doesn't have the pace to get those 5 turns on Becky B. So will be Becky B's win, I think.
Well, here comes Becky B to take the checkered flag here in Austria. Drake Dempsey followed very closely by Neon. They will flip positions. Neon second now. Drake Dempsey will collect third on debut here for the MRL in his reserve seat for Aston Martin. And it's Siffy fourth, TJ Spin in fifth, Rhapsody sixth, Stoltzman in seventh. We have Maxim B in eighth, Bautista Mateo ninth, and it's Karma Lesson to round out the points finishers here on the hards in the Alpine. What a race this was. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I do believe
Karma Lesson's penalty has seen him drop a fair amount of positions.
I do believe that is the clinching race after what has been, and make no mistake, the standings right now may reflect not much of a championship bout or battle, but I can assure anyone that Becky B worked very hard to achieve the championship that he has now officially clinched for the second consecutive season.
And don't forget, Lucas Yan was there the whole way, and Lucas Yan was leading up until that round before Lucas Yan left. That was Singapore. He led by 1 point. And after that, well, Lucas Yan, Becky B's championship, and he's claimed it. Congratulations to him. Back-to-back champion in America's Tier 1.
There we have it. Becky B, 5th to 1st here for this one. Neon started 7th, finishes 2nd. Drake Dempsey on pole today, finishing 3rd. A very, very wild race that we got to see unfold here for the Austrian Grand Prix. The Siffy in 4th, TJ in 5th, Rhapsody 6th, Bolt 7th, Maxim B in 8th. You have Bautista Matteo in 9th once again, and Karma Lesson there as well for Alpine. Rounding out the points finishers. Also joining us for this race, we had Jacob, Edgar, Gabriel, Fluffy Dave, Cal, Sales, Microlander, Pablo, and On Hell. Of course, joining me in the commentary booth was my good man Seb. My name is Strifium. And with that, I do want to say, again, a major and massive congratulations to Mr. Becky B on clinching the Drivers' Championship. It's not 100%. He hasn't officially finished the season yet, but of course we are going to get a chance to talk to him. Not tonight, as I will not have an opportunity to do interviews, but we are going to get an opportunity to speak to him very, very soon. Of course, thank you to everybody watching along in the chat and here on Twitch. Greatly appreciate all of you coming to see that awesome race. And of course, Seb, anything from you before we wrap things up after that awesome ops?
Nothing but a congratulations to Becky B on the win and the championship. Nice job to Neon as well on that good drive. Not getting a penalty, that's for him jump to P2 with Drake, a good showing out in that reserve capacity. So congratulations all around to our podium sitters, and keen for next week as usual.
Thank you so much, everyone, and have a fantastic, fantastic night. Interviews will return here for the Americas division next week, of course, and I apologize this week that there will be no interviews yesterday and tonight. They will be back next week, and I greatly appreciate the support as always, and we'll just see you next week for some great, absolutely action-packed racing action. Till next time, everybody. Ciao, ciao for now.